What's going on, Charles Botenston? Just wanted to make a really quick video, and it had to do, and by the way, I just had breakfast, so if there's anything in my teeth, fantastic, whoopee-doo-dah. But this is how you deal with, I'm in New York City, so obviously this is, unless you live in a really large city that you walk around a lot, you're going to experience something like this, whether you're at the airport, you're at school, you're at college, you're at your job, whatever it is, you're going to deal with negative strangers. I'm not talking about people that you know, but negative strangers. You could apply this to negative strangers, but the easiest way, and I made a video yesterday, and it really talked about my mindset when it comes to strangers that have something all over their face. You could really read someone's face and their body language based on that. And women are way better than men at this because they need to know for their safety if the man has good intentions or bad intentions. So women are, A, they're more expressive, and B, they're better at picking up little nuances. And this actually would apply more for women because women have mirror neurons. Men do as well, but women are very in tune with it. So in other words, if someone is laughing for, say, 30 seconds, you'll start laughing. Or I start smiling, you'll start smiling. Or I get angry, you start getting angry. And it's known, it actually helped us survive and everything else. But the problem is, when you continuously walk around, you'll notice that there's only about 10% of the population who's really, truly grateful. Whether they actually found it because they went to the top and then fell, and now they're rising back up, and they have gratitude towards the air they breathe, the clothes they wear, and things like that. But you're going to run into these people that will affect your mood, probably affect your mood. But the biggest way to get around it is be aware. And I know Gary Vaynerchuk talks about self-awareness. You have to be self-aware of other people as well. How are they acting? How are they being? What are they doing? And you have to observe this. This is literally the biggest breakthrough in the last week, is that observing this situation objectively, like you're not even there. What's going on right now? Are they getting what I'm saying? Is this conversation really negative and things like that? I cannot tell you how beneficial this is going to be to your life, is observing the teacher, observing friends, students, girls, dates, whatever. One of the guys that I work for, he's actually on, he just waved at me. But the biggest thing is, this guy walks in, down at work, so multiple things happen. This guy walks in, and we have a key card to get into the building. So it's 8:30, 8:15 in the morning, right around there. And, I'm happy. I just came from the gym. I did my morning routine. I have a healthy breakfast, and I'm just an overall happy guy, positive guy. This guy slams his card down. He can't get into the first turnstile. So he literally says, this is actually insane, he goes, "Jesus effing Christ." And I'm like, he literally out loud, and like furious, not like, blah, blah, blah. He like says it like someone just stole his baby. Then he goes over to the next turnstile and slams it down, and it opens, and then he walks towards the elevators. I'm like, I want to share an elevator with this guy. So the first thing is you have to observe it, like I said, as an objective. You can't feel for him. You can't get involved. That's him. And if you do, that's your ego talking. Your highest self it's attached to everything, but detached to emotions that are not good for you, especially something like that, but emotions in general. We identify with the emotions, and then we feel that's who we are. When in fact, that's not who we are. We are not our emotions. We are completely separate from our emotions, and when we start identifying with our emotions, good or bad, if that emotion is not there, we have the suffering. We have the difference. So this guy walks through the elevator. We get into the elevator. The elevator door was closing. I stuck out my hand to get in, which probably aggravated him more, but he said his piece in his head. And I press a floor lower than him, so it has to go. And I could hear him right behind me do the, oh. Okay, so this is really important right here. This is actually extremely important for your health, is when you breathe. And I just had a call with one of the viewers, and he understands it. And it's not a persistent thing, but I just brought it to his attention, not in a bad way, but I just brought it to his attention. When you hear people, there's two ways to let air out. Okay, you can let air out and see the difference. You can either go, maybe not even that extreme, but or okay, it's very subtle, but not in your body. If you do the first one, which is like that, I literally feel it. Try it right now. Like, try the difference is that you feel different chemicals run through your body, because one is a stress. Your body's either getting ready for something that it's not aware of, so it sends hormones to alert your body to get ready. It starts shutting down major non-essential things like fingernail growth, hair growth. That's why people that do that, they go gray, or they start losing their hair, or their fingernails, perfect example, or their hair starts growing. I was out on a date, and this girl, I haven't seen her in 6 months. So we saw each other, and then the winter came around. Of course, you pick things back up. But we went out, and I was like, oh, did you cut your hair? She's like, no, it won't grow. My next question, very important. I said, are you stressed? She goes, yeah. And at that point, it really solidified in a real life example, is that when you have stress, her fingernails won't grow because it's non-essential. Like, stress triggers that you need to survive. You don't need your fingernails growth to survive. Or your hair. Like, your hair is for long-term protection against the cold and whatever else. It was obviously the fingernails picking up things. So I digress, and I know this is a longer video than I wanted, but I hope there's a bunch of gems in here. So we get on the elevator, and he does the try it now, the or the when you do that, it releases good. It probably, EDSO, which is endorphins, dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin, and those are the good chemicals. Obviously you can get addicted by dopamine, and I definitely dopamine based on your phone, social media, gambling, alcoholism, not alcoholism, but that ding, that buzz, that bing on your phone you get addicted to, and it shoots endorphins and dopamine through your body, and then you just get addicted to whatever that is. You're like, oh, I want more. Back in the day, it helped us because it was saying that you need to keep on going to get the animal or the fruit or the water to survive. Now we don't need it. But I get off, and there's two things. So that's the observation. So number one is you cannot judge that person, okay? A is you don't know what's going on in their life, but you have to look at it for observing, not judging. But you look at it and you say, okay, so he doesn't have much hair. He probably looks older than he is. And I'm not judging. It's just what is causing it. That's the thing, is that people put lip balm on their lips when they're dehydrated. They put on more clothes when in fact they have excess sweat on their skin and they need to take a shower. Like, I remember camping, and I was like, I'm freezing. I started putting on more and more layers, and it was the summer. And they said, did you take a shower last night? And I said, no, because during the day I sweat. The sweat dried on my skin, and you're camping, and that's the worst thing that you could do. So you have to treat the problem, which is I didn't shower, or treat the problem is, why isn't my hair growing? Why aren't my nails growing? Why am I stressed out? Why do I have a disease? It's not that you're not exercising. You may be exercising, like I had a video the other day that this guy was overweight. And he's been exercising for 40 years. What else are you doing? Do you have a sedentary lifestyle? And what are you eating during the day? Okay, great. We have the exercise down. Now let's look at the other areas that are causing this. He says it's his age, which is external. You can't blame it on something external. Yes, there's a little things external, but you cannot rely and blame it on that and use it as an excuse to get into shape. So number one is you have to observe it. So you have to observe it like when you see my videos or you see someone else's videos, observe it in real life. And what I say, put against the real life. Like, Maybe it doesn't apply in your community, or maybe it doesn't apply to you. It like, you have to be self-aware to it. But you look at the guy and you say, okay, he's probably been stressed for a long time, hair growth, he's not in shape. It's like, do I want to live that life? That's really the question I ask myself all the time. Or do I want to hang out with this person? You know, I said on the video yesterday, I ran into a guy I haven't seen in 10, 15 years. And he since high school, probably, 10, 12, 13, whatever, however old I am, minus those years. I ran into him. He's like, we got to hang out. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't really want to. Like, I looked up to him because he was so smart, and he comes from a very wealthy family. Very wealthy on Long Island. Like, yeah, not billions, but the guy's, he's set. He's fine. And I looked up to him for those things when I was younger, because we didn't have a lot of money growing up. Not like we were poor, but we weren't that. And now I know not to compare. But you observe it and you say, okay, do I want to hang out with this person? Do I want this person's body? Do I want this person's lifestyle? Do I want their job? Do I want to go to this school? And you look at the people, you observe the people. When you go for a job interview, observe the people. Like, are they cool? Are they fun? Are they outgoing? Are they exciting? You have to observe things and say, how does this fit into my life? Does this jive with my morals? So when you see a negative stranger, number one is you can't feel them. In other words, you can't, obviously that's illegal, but you can't feel what they're feeling. You can say, oh, that's tough or whatever if you're in a conversation, but don't actually feel it. Don't embody it. Just objectively say it. So when you objectively say it, you don't actually internalize their feelings, and you can go throughout your day. So that's what I do. I literally walk down the street and I'm just happy. Just a happy guy. Before I would feel the other people's negativity. Like, there was a woman online when I was getting my oatmeal this morning. She just had this really sour face. And back in the day, I would react to it because I was a people pleaser. Maybe that's why I did it. I was a people pleaser. I wanted her to like me, or him, or that person to like me. So I would feel their feelings. And today, I just walked right by. Just like, whatever. It takes practice, and you have to observe it. So number one is don't feel their feelings. Number two is don't judge them, because you could objectively see, okay, he's not in shape, and it's nothing against him. Like, I'm not saying he's fat. I'm just saying he's not in shape. The hair. Okay, Charles said that this causes that to live this lifestyle or this job or whatever. Listen, the guy could have a lovely family and everything else, maybe stressed out because his mom is sick or whatever. You don't know what's going on in life, so that's why you shouldn't judge. And also, when you judge, it's your ego talking. You judge lower, you judge higher, or anything else. Like, oh my God, that person's beautiful. That person's really wealthy. It's like the comparison is your ego talking. I know this is a long video. I hope this helps. So, number one is observe. Number two is don't judge. And number three is don't feel their feelings or worry about, what they say or anything else. So, hope this helps. Subscribe to the videos. Come out with a new video every single day. No, not really. Most days. And leave your comments below, because it really pushes the channel forward, and it gives me the oxygen to keep on going. So have an awesome day. Talk to you guys soon.